Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to have you all back again today with our special guest, Nicholeen Peck. We are so excited. She, as you recall from last week, remember we're having a three-part series, and so today is part 2, and she's helping us with all these wonderful, exciting parenting skills so that we're going to know exactly what to do when situations come up. As a parent, I remember that there are lots of times when my kids were little and I'm going, oh, whoa, what do I do now? And it was kind of like, think. Do I recall ever seeing my mother handle this? And that's kind of where a lot of my ideas came from. Is that what you found too, Nicholeen?
I know we all watched our parents. Yeah. I did the very same thing. My parenting style did not necessarily come from my parents. With all due respect to them, I love them to death. They were in survival mode a lot, I think. We had 5 children. I remember that there were times when I would look at my brothers and how crazy they were and just all of this so, I don't know, rough and tumble. I thought we were the herdmen sometimes. We were so bad. My poor parents. I think we made them go gray prematurely,
That's too funny.
Anyway, no, obviously, they did the very best they could with whatever they had, and my dad did say this new idea that's coming out at the time, how everyone should just be their child's friend instead of their parent, is wrong. And he knew that was wrong, and they weren't going to do that. But what they were going to do, now that was a little bit more difficult to figure out. But I actually learned all of the things that I'm doing from somewhat personal experience, because I was a foster parent for many years for troubled youth, ages 12 to 18. And in that experience of working with those troubled youth, boy, did I learn what worked and what didn't, and also what the impact was on your home. I'm just sort of the kind of person who always is feeling what's happening, and if I didn't like the feel of it, I wasn't going to do it, whatever it was.
Yeah. You know, what's so important to Nicholeen, I think, we were talking a little bit last time, as I recall, also about the relationship, keeping that in mind. And most important, though, is to have a set of skills.
Yes.
And keep in mind that relationship. That's a fabulous combination. One without the other doesn't work. It's out of balance. And I love the idea of having balance in your home and in your relationship. So, we just got right off the bat, started talking and visiting again. We love this. This is so fun. Nicholeen is the author of so many things. First of all, she's got her first book out. As I recall, this is your first book.
That's the first book, yes.
Okay.
It's called Parenting a House United, Changing Children's Hearts and Behaviors by Teaching Self-Government.
I love the part about changing their hearts. That's so wonderful.
That really is the point, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
isn't that the point of why we're here in a way and why we need to be parents? Our hearts are united with their hearts, and it is up to us to help their hearts choose the right. I mean, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and the idea that, with children, they'll say it's not fair, and yet what is right for one child doesn't necessarily make it right for another child. You have to kind of work out.
Well, there are definitely some differences among children, definitely. That's
very
for
much
sure.
So.
Although there are some principles that can help you sort out how to work out those differences with the children. If you have some good principles that you're governing your home by, then no matter the personality of the child, you can see how the situation with that child fits into the principles of the home. I call that having a family government.
Oh, I love that.
And we have a lot of different ways. I have 9 principles that I usually talk about in how to set up a family government. And it's just important to deliberately do that, to decide this is how the structure of our home's going to go. When I talk to people about having self-government in their homes, 2 things that I always say you have to have is you have to have a structure that works, that backs you up.
Yes.
Because if you are just trying in the minute to go, oh great, I've got a new thing, now what do I do in this new thing in the minute? Not that anyone can ever know what every child's going to choose, but if you have a structure that's solid enough, no matter what happens, the principles in that structure will back you up. Then the second thing is a tone. You have to have the right tone in your home. A tone that makes the home feel safe, that makes it feel loving, where they know that home is the safest place to make mistakes, that it's their learning spot. And I've had many conversations with my children when I talk to them about something that they've done wrong, and I say, I'm so glad that you did that here and now, because home is a safe place to do that. And now you'll learn how to not do that. And in the future, when you grow up and you'll be big, you won't do that anymore because you did it here. I'm glad you did it here.
Wow, that's so cool. You know, that word was between cool and good.
Whatever works, you know.
Yeah, we get it. But, you know, and that actually is the exact opposite to what we hear so much. Gosh, I think I've heard it all my life. It's like you treat everybody outside so special. You treat your company so special.
Yes.
And then you let down everything when you're at home, and that's where you take it out on each other.
Because you take advantage. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love this other. I like to think of home as a safety place, like a nest, a warm, safe nest. Where no matter what happens, you can do that. And I don't know that I always did that with my children because I was raised the opposite where, you know, you give the best. So sometimes, anyway, I'm so grateful that you have your books and things out because now no one else has to go through all that. But my
That's
poor
what I was hoping. You know, when we started learning all of this, we just went, Eureka! How come nobody has known this before? And we've got to help people out. And it wasn't too long. We didn't even, you know, plan on doing anything, and before people were saying, can you come tell us what you're doing, because something's different at your house and we want to know what it is. Not to say that we're perfect people, because we're not. My daughter could attest to that. She's out there in the lobby, right? Anyway, nobody's perfect, but we know how to figure out what went wrong and how to fix it and how to deliberately make a change if somebody has a problem.
What a wonderful thought. Okay, now we mentioned your very first book. You have a brand new book out.
I do. It's a children's book. It's called London LaRae Says Okay.
And for those of you that are watching us on bj.utahvalleylive.com, you can look at her. You'll see the book. We're holding it up for you, and we've actually got one sitting behind us so that can help you remember. This is a wonderful, colorful book.
Oh, it is.
The coloring is wonderful. Tell me just a second, how did you choose this fantastic artist?
You know, this is a funny story. Actually, I have an adult discussion group that meets at my house once a month, and I was talking about, I've got this book, I want to do a children's book. I looked all over for an illustrator, and when I was looking for an illustrator, and this friend of mine says, oh, my mom illustrates stuff. And I went, oh, she does? And all of a sudden, you know, well, actually, sorry, that was the story for the first book because there are illustrations in there. And then when I talked to her later, she's like, you know, I've always wanted to do a children's book. So then when I had the children's book ready, I asked her if she would do it, and sure enough, she did. And it was better than I even imagined it would be. She's incredible.
She really is.
Her name's Becky Fossen.
That's right. Good.
I should tell that.
Yes,
She's a really great
we really should have that name up there.
Yes.
So the pictures they're large pictures, and the children they have that it's a style, the style that she has done the art.
The illustration.
I love it.
Well, so she draws it all, and then she computer paints it. So she puts it's her own personal artwork, and she even painted a lot of the pictures ahead of time. But then she does the computer painting and shading and stuff like that, and makes it look almost like real.
Yes. Yeah. It has that fun, full quality.
Yeah.
That
it is fun.
Is so exciting, and the cats and the dogs and all the fun nature things in here. You'll love it.
Yeah.
And now, if they want to get any of this, and we have more things to tell you about too. But if they happen to want to get these.
The best place right now is to get them on teachingselfgovernment.com. That's my site, teachingselfgovernment.com. And if you go on there right now, during the run of these 3 shows, we're doing a special. There's a coupon code, and you can type in TSG, that stands for Teaching Self-Government, TSG deals, and then you'll get 20% off of anything you purchase. And I'll tell you what, if you get like the implementation course, because we have a 10-step implementation course that has videos and all these classes, hours and hours of classes. You can listen while you're driving to work or running on the treadmill or whatever you're doing. And plus, it comes with the book and everything. Boy, that's a huge savings. Because
amazing.
Because that's a little bit more expensive item. We also have, if you can see this here, BJ, we've got an audio seminar. It's 7 hours of audio. It details some of the stuff in the book, as well as has 2 other classes that aren't in the book. And then we have this.
Now hold that up so that everybody can see that.
Sorry, I forget. We're on TV.
Yes. It makes it fun. We almost sound like an infomercial. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And actually, that's not really what we're doing.
Yeah.
we just kind of want to make sure right up front that we put this out, that she has this stuff available for you, because there's, you know, the success that you can have in your home with your family. There's nothing like it. It's so, well, it's so empowering.